Oh, hey everybody, welcome. We have the smartest man in the world, the three-wheel bicycle man. Very well read, by the way. I mean, he can tell you everybody from Mark Twain to Gene Shepard to Ernest Hemingway. He is very, very well read. He is the second smartest man in the world, other than Mr. Duterte from the Philippines, who wants to put the people who don't go along with the jab, which he doesn't want, by the way. It's the only reason we get along. He doesn't want it either, but he thinks somehow he's going to slick out of it. Anyways, he just thinks I'm crazy here. And you may agree, okay? He's just making comments, so let's go over the news, shall we? The first thing we need to do is we need to check. Sorry, folks, we're gonna have a hard time here with the wind, so I'm gonna have to find some heavy-duty stuff. All right, there we go. Now it won't come down, so don't worry about the rude comments coming from the second smartest man in the world, okay? You don't want to be affected by the second smartest man in the world. Okay. You know, folks, I realize that my hacking and spitting is more disgusting than the stuff that comes out of my mouth in a verbal sense. I mean, that's true, isn't it? Okay, look, let's get on with this. I've got people waiting, believe it or not, that subscribe to this channel that wait for this. Okay, we're gonna first go to the Bitcoin. Okay, so we can we can get going with this. Sorry, my laptop is doing something very strange here. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we've wasted enough time. We'll just have to wait on Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and get right into the news. Shall we? All right. Let's get on to Drudge, and we will find out what is happening. I don't know why this isn't going, but it is finally. So let's see what's happening. Okay, well, here is the face of the people who believe in keeping their gals of the opposite sex in order, okay? It says, once vanquished insurgent returns as Afghan's next leader. Taliban violent crackdown, violent in whose sense? You may not think it's a big deal to throw homosexual men off top of buildings if you're over there. That may not trouble you at all. That may make perfect sense to you, okay? And a woman playing a little bit too much eye contact with her fellow schoolmate there at 16 years old, you may think that a good caning might be the answer to that, okay? It just depends. We'll have to move on with the story and see what works here, okay? Women, children beaten. Okay, well, you might think that's a good idea. Maybe they did something to deserve it. We don't know, okay? Female gunned down for not wearing burqa, okay? Germany, greatest debacle NATO has ever seen. Well, we need Mojo to get our troops in there. Let's send 5-6 million in there. We'll shut it all down. Get all these kids that want to play video games and get them on board. Okay, let's get them doing something productive. Biden finds new Capitol Hill allies amid backlash. What a surprise that is. Approval falls below 50%. That's because you got a bunch of mindless idiots. They don't understand that this is a complete distraction from what's going on. Now they're just on coast. So what's next? In order to be able to go to a public bathroom, you're going to have to be jabbed. 3wheel, second smartest man in the world, ain't going to like that. Okay? He ain't going to like that. He doesn't have his papers yet. Booster in September. Is it ever going to end? I'm not making that up. We need that booster. That booster's going to save everybody because they're all dying. We're all going to die, I think. But maybe not. Maybe they'll boost us and then we're going to not die. Okay. All right. Frantic rescue underway in Kabul. But White House says, how long will it last? Militants block routes to airport, hampering evacuations. Well, duh. What do you think? What do you think they're going to do? CIA warned of rapid collapse. So I'm sure they got out of there. China exploits perception of American weakness. You bet they will. They already mentioned it on yesterday's Drudge. I didn't report on it. They said you're looking at essentially, remember how we used to say a Chinese war drill? Well, this is like an American war drill. This whole thing, people falling off airplanes because they're trying to get people out of there on a C-17 or whatever the hell that thing was. Global Star, whatever the hell it was. They had 652 people stuffed in the belly of that thing. I saw it yesterday. And then a couple people fell off the outside at 7,000, 8,000 feet after they couldn't hold on any longer. It's an embarrassment. And China saw it and they said, this is exactly, you're just seeing a warm-up for Taiwan because we're going to take Taiwan back. And Mojo ain't going to do anything about it. The kids are playing their video games. They can't be bothered with something like that. That belongs to China anyway. I told you about that. I met a nice guy that was working in the security thing at the airport there in Taipei. He's a nice guy. Talked for maybe 20 minutes. He was a nice guy. He spoke enough English to have a little conversation. Let's see what it says here. More than 1,000 scam deaths recorded as USA returns to April levels. April levels of what? Well, April scam levels, of course. Florida County declares state of emergency amid hospital resource shortage. My goodness! Looks like there's going to be a lot of people dying here. All the more reason to start developing those posses to get people to cooperate. We better get them to cooperate, and fast. We're running out of resources here, okay? My goodness. We wouldn't want to run out of resources. Okay. Ambulance services make urgent plea. Probably all a bunch of lefties too. My goodness. Talk about job security. Update, Governor Abbott tests positive. My God. Grab your head with both hands. Run around frantically. All right. It says Texas school includes masks in dress code to bypass ban. That's our friends with Mojo and the mayors and the city councilmen. And now they just require it as the dress code. I told you folks, infield fly rule. Do you understand? Mike Lowell pretends to catch the ball, drops it. Umpire's there to come out and say, nice try, Mike. It ain't going to work. You're not getting the double play. Not while I'm here. Well, in this case, they get the double play. You understand? Because they buy into the scam. So embarrassing. So they bypass the law by requiring it to be mandatory for your dress code. Isn't that nice, folks? It's such an embarrassment, and you folks don't even understand. TSA extends rule for airline passengers. Parent rips covering off teacher's face. Well, there's one. Well, let me know where he is, and I'll go suck his dick for a change. Talk about some guts. I give you all the guts. I give you credit for having all the guts in the world. I hope you did something else to him, too. Rip his mask right off. AI gave Val Kilmer his voice back, but critics worry tech could be misused. Trump exits Trump Tower to a mix of cheers, boos, and middle fingers. Tell us something we don't know already, can you please? Tell us something we don't know? It's like, is that news? Star salaries revealed. Daniel Craig tops list at $100 million. Comrade Newsom from California shifts to stark tone as he seeks to stay in office. It's a matter of life and death, it says here in red. Matter of life and death. What would California do without him? My goodness. Probably couldn't carry on. California builds Noah's Ark, quote unquote, to protect wildlife from extinction by fire and heat. Makes sense as far as I'm concerned because they're getting, I guess, bad wildfires over there. South California, or SoCal, water officials declare supply alert. Mustang Roundup fuels deepening debate as drought grips west. I guess the wild horses out there are Mustangs. Something like that. Twitter allows users to flag, quote, misleading content. Okay? So that's all. If you just think it's misleading, then flag it. See what I mean? It's perfect. Just perfect. Video, ace pitcher carted off field after line drive to head. Man, there is nothing good about that. God, that is the scariest thing. Line drive is when the ball is hit, you know what I mean, like horizontally real fast, and it gets there real quick, and it hit the pitcher on the head, and there's just like nothing you can do about it because the pitcher's coming down off of this motion, and there's like nothing you can do. You know what I mean? It's horrible. I don't know what they're going to do. They should make. I know in softball they make the girls now. They wear face and head shields, protectors. They might have to start doing that in the Major League Baseball. Well, there we have Channel 7 helicopter news coverage. Completely fair news coverage, by the way. Completely unbiased, of course. It says militants can tweet if it's not too violent. We're almost done with this, folks. I'm sorry. The camera's going to blow over. So, 3wheel, second smartest man in the world, has left. He simply cannot stand the drivel coming out of his mouth. He has to get back to n.p.r. and get a dose of reality. Okay? Coming from the word of him, not my making up that. Black hole megastructures may be powering alien civilizations, scientists say. You know what? I'm so tired of these friggin' black holes. You know what? I don't think any of you know what you're talking about. How's that? What the hell? It's swallowing up this and gobbling up these suns and this and that. I don't think they know what the hell they're talking about. I don't. And then they make up these figures. They say, well, it's the weight of the star and it goes down to the size of a walnut or a pea. How do you know this? Come on. I think it's all, they're making stuff up and want us to believe it. You know what I mean? And I don't even think there's any evidence for it. In fact, I know there isn't. It's all theory. Really. I mean, even the movie about it by Disney sucked. Remember? Man, they sell that paraphernalia all over eBay now, the black hole thing. And I don't think there were any major stars in there, and it was a sucky movie. It was awful. They could have done a much better job with it. All they had to do is show them going through the hole there and then coming out to a place that was awful, and they had to kill a lot of things, and they didn't do that. Everything was going into that hole. I can't even remember it, but it was a real letdown. The movie didn't do well. That was back in the late 70s, I think. Fears China's solar space station could burn up Earth if aimed wrong. Okay? Yeah, they're talking about beaming solar power back to Earth. Because solar is consistent in space, because it's not blocked by the Earth. Okay, can mindfulness make selfish? New Zealanders begin life in another lockdown as Delta cases edge up. Israel back in the red, question mark? Pope urges jab as an act of love. Of course. All the better to be controlled, right, Popey? World sick map. Grace reaches hurricane strength, set to slam Cancun as a Cat 2. United Airlines to crew, don't duct tape passengers. What were we talking about? You had that poor kid there that was, I forget what they call it, but he was he didn't like to be touched or anything or whatever it was. And he was 13 years old, and they duct taped the poor young man to the seat. You can't figure out another way to do that? I wasn't there, but I thought it was ponderous to begin with, 13-year-old kid, you can't get four men to say, hey, look, stop it or we'll restrain you. No, you got to duct tape the kid? I just think maybe that's the answer. Maybe we should just duct tape everybody, okay? And everybody in the plane should be duct taped. That way they can be put into a mask and they can't reach for it. That'll solve a lot of problems. Think about it. Soaring cost of food forcing families to scrimp at the table. 1/3 couldn't cover $2,000 emergency before the scam. Study, intermittent fasting may protect from falls. Then again, it could cause you to fall. I hate it when I'm going to have to do it. After my plasma tomorrow, I got to do it. I got to fast. I got to fast for 4 or 5 days. I got to start getting my weight down. Okay, that's it, folks. We've made it through another one. We have pissed off the n.p.r. 3-wheel bike idiot, and he shan't recover. Okay, seriously. He was so upset that he just went off in just a tirade over there, okay? You take care, and we'll see you at the movies. Bye.